This video is for anyone who's been seeing weird signs, something you can't really explain. Like, you may be feeling that there is a part of you that is really guiding you, even though you're going through very challenging times or your life is completely falling apart. You have a sense of knowing that things will be okay. And you know that. You are still losing yourself in fear, in worries, in frustrations. But there is that part of you that just knows that things will be fine. And it's like you would be getting an intuitive sense of encouragement that doesn't come from external sources. It comes from within you. And you're wondering, like, why do I feel like I just need to, go into this direction? Or why do I feel like I just need to push through even though I have no evidence for it? Like, my ego would quit long time ago, but there is this part of me that I just can't ignore. If you feel like that, well, this video is for you. A parallel version of you is trying to send you a message. And many of you have been experiencing these very interesting synchronicities often. And the thing is that we're living in a time right now where consciousness is expanding and we're all becoming more sensitive to all these intuitive insights and all these synchronicities that are becoming more potent, more visible, more vivid to all of us. And therefore, we are often experiencing this kind of connection with more evolved us, with the wiser part of us that already lives in this present moment in a parallel reality. So if we think about our lives as a puzzle, like you right now in this moment, you're a piece of the puzzle. And let's say that consciousness is the whole puzzle that's already completed, already, finished. Everything is finished. But you're this one piece of a puzzle. And you are making this whole puzzle complete because you exist in it, right? But then there's another puzzle somewhere else where you would like to be right at this moment. Like you would like to be another piece of this puzzle, but you don't know how to get there. But because that other piece of this puzzle is also inside that same puzzle, you're kind of connected with it. And if you're intuitive enough, you can ask it for guidance, like how can I get from here to there? How can I get to this other point of this same creation and experience things in different ways, like maybe more abundance, maybe greater relationships, maybe more happiness, maybe more passion, maybe more purpose. And as soon as you start wondering this, signs start happening to you because, as I said, you are a part of the puzzle. And you're also the puzzle. The consciousness is the puzzle, and you experiencing the consciousness is experiencing a piece, one piece on that puzzle. So a parallel version of you is just another piece on this puzzle, and you are communicating with it every time you ask questions, every time you ask for guidance, every time you look within and you trust your intuition. So often it feels like you're experiencing deja vus or unexplained familiar moments, like it happened before. Maybe you had a dream. Maybe you had like a moment would hit you that feels like you've experienced this before. And that's when you experience an exchange with that other you, living somewhere else, having a different experiences, and now you're tapping into the energy of that other you. Maybe the you from you would consider from the future, but actually it's just in a different reality. So you can access to all kinds of versions of yourself. If you think about the quantum field theory, which says that the creation is already completed in the quantum field, everything is already created in. You just experience what you're the most familiar with, what your frequency is in match with. So in quantum physics, they say that the act of observer always creates something that is possible to see, which means that if you're observing something long enough, you will sooner or later experience it. But before you experience it, you start getting signs and synchronicities from that potential that is leading you towards it. So when you're thinking about more evolved you, more abundant you, more happy you, more passionate you, that you already exists as a potential in the field, as a piece on this puzzle that is just somewhere else. And every time you think about that version of yourself, every time you feel like you want that, like you already are it, like it is possible for you, you feel grateful for the life you want to live, you truly connect with it. You match a frequency with that other you. And that other you starts communicating with you. And it may sound complicated. It may sound like, what am I talking about? But you've experienced it before. Like, think about it when you wanted to change a job and everyone said to you, it's impossible to get this job of your dreams. Or everyone said, like, why would you quit this job that is paying you so well, or things like that, or people love you there, why do you want to really change that? But you had this sense like there's something greater waiting you in the future, there's something greater you want to experience. And from where this sense was coming from, if not from that other you that already lives there, right? Some people would say it's from the higher self, but isn't the higher self the point of consciousness that's more evolved than you are right now? And that's why you call it the higher self, because its consciousness is on higher level, right? And every time you ascend, there will be a higher part of you that you will aim towards ascending into this higher version of you until you become a source, you become, all that you can be. And this is the infinite journey of ascension. And well, isn't it great to have such goals that inspire us to grow in life? So, well, deja vus, and sometimes synchronicities like numbers 222, 1111, 444, 555, those are all signs that this other version of you has contacted you. And when you start experiencing that, you just know, oh, it's happening. It's happening right now. You don't need to do anything about it. You just need to trust and follow the insight. Follow the knowing. Because knowing is what takes you there, right? It's deeper than faith. It's deeper than belief. But faith gets born out of knowing. And beliefs then help you to make it happen. But it's not that you have to shift your beliefs or that you have to have a belief. You don't need to believe this. When you start seeing synchronicities, just follow the knowing that comes with it. It's like when you hear a wonderful song that you love, you feel it. You don't have beliefs around it like, oh, this song is really beautiful. You feel it, and that's why you dance on it, right? That's why it moves you, because you feel it. Feeling is much more potent than beliefs. And when it comes to that other version of you, right? If right now you would think about memories of yours, your younger self, how would you think about communicating with your younger self? Would you try to manipulate your mind, or would you try to bring something into your life that would actually influence your feelings to such a degree that something that would be good for you in the future would inspire you at that moment, and you would follow this inspiration only so you would experience what's truly good for you? Isn't it how you would try to influence you in the past? And now think about how you, as your future self, is influencing you in this present moment. Well, through inspiration, through something that awakens an intense sense of enthusiasm for something. Like back in 2018, I felt enthusiastically driven to start painting, and I had no idea why. I just started seeing these vivid visions for paintings that I firstly needed to learn to paint, so then I could paint them. And I had no idea why it's happening, but now I know. Like, this led me to make this YouTube channel, to inspire people all around the world and to just share what I love to share with you. And who knows where the inspiration that I feel right now will take me. But in the future, it will all make sense. So I always remind you to notice what is inspiring you, because that's how that other you is telling you right now that you need to take care of something. And we are right now we are in the potent times right now when it comes to spiritual awakening. So many people are going through a spiritual awakening, which means that people are experiencing the shattering of identity often, the shattering of ego, which means that what you thought that is real about you, you've started questioning it. Am I really this way? Am I really, like this? Is this really who I am? And so many things that were a part of your identity may start falling apart and you may be shaken a little bit. Like in the past, I was so very passionate about extreme sport, mountain biking, freestyle mountain biking. It was something I've been doing for about 12 to 13 years. I was competing, I was filming videos, I had sponsors. It was great. And it was a part of my identity. But at some point, I just felt no passion for it anymore. And that was the time when I started feeling the sense that, I need to start painting. Like this whole identity of mine started shattering. And it was like, who am I without this sport? Who am I without doing that? And I've noticed like, a whole another version of me was born back at that time, which was not really separated from me as an athlete. I just became more maybe vulnerable. I became more sensitive. And I also became more authentic and connected because I was not trying to be like someone else in the game. Now I've started to realize that me as a very creative person is who I truly am. Like I am a very creative being and I need to explore my creativity in all the ways. And more I'm exploring it, more I'm playing with it, more I feel playful about it. So I've noticed, isn't playfulness what truly takes us to where we want to be? And it makes us forgetting about time, forgetting about creating or making results, forgetting about manifesting things. And I found out that through playfulness, I've actually experienced the most breakthroughs. Sure, I'm not playful all the time. No one is. And we need to take care of unplayful things as well, like paying bills and managing paperwork and taxes and all of that. But it's the fundamental part around which we build our lives. And if the fundamental part is something that awakens playfulness in us, well, then we feel more alive and then we easily take care of the paperwork and taxes and all other stuff, right? If the fundamental part is something that awakens playfulness, if it's a job that you hate, well, everything else is just harder. And if you find something that awakens playfulness, well, then your life becomes more playful, right? And isn't it how that more evolved you would encourage you in this moment to evolve? Because if there is a version of you that lives a life you desire right now, well, how you are imagining that this desired reality can exist? What are you doing? Who are you? How much time you're spending at doing whatever you're doing? What kind of people are around you? Do you want to be surrounded with loving people or boring people? Do you want to do things you love or do you want to do more things that are boring? Do you want to be healthy and wealthy or do you want to be, bored and sad and miserable and in lack of energy? And of course, we all look for vitality, for feeling deeply vibrant and alive. And how does it feel? To me, it feels like happiness. It feels peace. It feels like inspiration, to be moved by spirit. Every single day I want to be moved by spirit. I want to wake up with a sense like today I want to do something purposeful, something that may help someone, something that may inspire someone. And I'm not waking up like this every single day, but this is the energy I tap into. And if there is a part of me that is already completely evolved in this area, isn't it the energy that is the most ideal for me, also the energy that other part of me is guiding me through? So it's the energy of inspiration for me. It is the energy of happiness, the energy of purpose, the energy of passion. And therefore, when you feel the energy that you want to feel more of, that other you is connecting with you, and more you're integrating this new energy, like when I've started painting, I've started integrating more of this energy. And of course, on that journey, then we are facing with our past, with our traumas, with our ancestral traumas, ancestral fears, because we notice there's so much of all the energy we need to face with that is not allowing us to embody the new energy. It's like, you can't just pour more water into a jar. You firstly need to empty the jar. You need to empty your old energy. And to empty the old energy, it's like, it's such a unpleasant work, because you're facing with your past, you're facing with your fears, with your shame, with your guilt, with your worries, with your sadness, with your anxiety and all of that, and you just need to sit with it, right? And as you're sitting with these feelings, you're emptying your jar, and more you're emptying your jar, more that future you can pour into you the new you, right? The new energy, the new version of you, so you become it. And more you're doing this work, more you feel connected with that part of you that knows, with that part of you that guides you, with that part of you that takes you to wherever you want to go. And I hope that this video today may only give you a bit more of this reassurance to the part of you that knows that when you feel connected, when you feel alive, when you feel happy, when you feel passionate, when you feel joyful, it's really a pull from this other you to become it. When you feel disconnected from it, it's the old energy that you need to pour out. It's the old energy that you feel, it's from your ancestors, it's from your past, it's from everything you've been avoiding, to slowly pull it out. And when you have these doubts and fears and worries, will it truly work out? Will this truly, will this work out with finances? Will this work out with my job? Will this work out with my relationships or whatever? Just allow yourself to feel it. And then never allow this old energy to stop you from taking action with the new energy. Do you know what I mean? When you feel worried and sad and maybe you compare yourself with someone else, don't allow this to stop you from still taking action with the new life you're building. Because so many of us are frequently feeling these old emotions, still being active within us, like someone else is already doing what I'm doing, or someone else is so much better at what I'm doing right now, or someone else had got a job that I want to get, and it feels impossible for me to get there. Don't allow these stories to prevent you from taking your action. Because every time you take action with it, you lower down the volume of these old stories. And when stories are not necessary anymore, they will just detach from you. Thoughts will detach from you, and emotions will be released. So it's only when you pay attention to them and you listen to them and you trust them, they feel important. It's same as some time ago I was reading a book about Bitcoin, and the person was explaining how Bitcoin works and how the only way to destroy Bitcoin, he said, was if every person that is using it would stop using it, and therefore Bitcoin would notice that it's not needed anymore, and therefore it would die. And it's same with thoughts. It's so interesting, right? Thoughts only have power over you because you trust them, you believe them, and you act upon them. It's same with stories. Stories are just, the perfectly well combined thoughts together that form sentences that make sense to you. And as long as you believe into something that makes sense to you or made sense to you in the past, it has power over you. When you do it anyway, like you said, I will make these videos or I will follow this passion, doesn't matter what you want to build with it. Maybe just to, put you into a state of playfulness. Maybe you don't need to have any goal with it, but just doing it, just the act of doing it. Even though you have all these negative thoughts around it, you will notice that when you do it, all these thoughts just lose its grip. You just let go of them. They don't have power over you. And that's when you experience freedom. When you do it frequently, every single day, you notice that you're becoming more of a new you and less of an old you. And that's how that new you is guiding you to become it, right? So my friends, I hope you found a great value in today's message. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope it inspired you in any way, and if not, still okay. Thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, where you can find all of my paintings, prints of my art in different sizes. Go and check it out. And also on Etsy store, AttractPassion, if you prefer that platform most. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. Thank you so much, and till next time, one love.